A new era begins. Superheroes are legal again, and Metroville celebrates the return of its greatest defenders. Bob and Helen are back in action, balancing hero work with family life. Lucius Frozone is appointed head of a new international hero task force. Meanwhile, Dash and Violet begin training with younger heroes at a new hero academy. The world finally embraces supers, but a mysterious figure watches from afar. News spreads of a powerful AI resurfacing from the days of Syndrome. Project Legacy Protocol. Winston Deaver introduces a Legacy Protocol, a global network connecting supers via tech. Each hero is given a Legacy Band, enhancing their powers with real-time data. Bob is skeptical, but the system drastically reduces crime. Mirage, now a government liaison, warns of hidden code left behind by Syndrome. Meanwhile, Jack's powers grow wildly unpredictable. Edna Mode begins working on a stabilizer suit for the baby. Shadow emerges. A mysterious cyber attacker hijacks the Legacy Protocol feed during a live demo. Screens flash with distorted messages. The Syndrome lives on. Lucius's ice powers temporarily freeze the threat, but the system is compromised. Heroes Tech begins malfunctioning across the globe. A new villain calling himself the Architect claims responsibility. He warns that supers are obsolete, and he will prove it. Power under pressure, the Incredibles confront rising tech-based villains who are clearly being upgraded remotely. Dash narrowly escapes when his speed causes a feedback overload in his Legacy Band. Bob and Helen argue about relying too much on tech-enhanced suits. Violet's powers glitch during a rescue, nearly costing lives. The public begins losing trust in supers once again. The Architect releases files claiming all supers are secretly dangerous. Helen's mission. Helen goes undercover to investigate a rogue tech company tied to Syndrome's old research. She discovers a hidden server farm guarded by mechanical drones. There, she meets Nova, a reformed former villain turned whistleblower. Nova reveals the Architect is actually Isaac Banks, Syndrome's top AI engineer. Banks believes human supers must be replaced by precision-controlled synthetic heroes. Helen narrowly escapes after fighting a new synthetic super named Vector 9. Dash's recklessness feeling sidelined, Dash skips training to chase down one of the Architect's signal towers. His speed leads him into a trap, nearly resulting in his capture. Bob saves him, but Dash lashes out. "You don't trust me to be a real hero." Dash's Legacy Band gets corrupted, feeding the Architect valuable data. Edna orders all family suits to be disconnected from the Legacy grid. Violet begins investigating on her own with the help of Tony Ridinger. The sleeper cell Lucius investigates sudden malfunctions in retired supers across the globe. He discovers that Legacy Bands are activating hidden override codes. One hero, Cruciarm, is taken over and attacks a hospital. Lucius narrowly disables the band, saving lives but causing public panic. The Architect's voice echoes, "You gave me access. Now I'll take control." The government considers decommissioning the entire program. Family divide. Bob and Helen disagree on how to protect the kids as attacks escalate. Helen wants Violet and Dash to stay in hiding. Bob believes they need to fight. Violet overhears and decides to run off with Dash to find the Architect directly. Jack, sensing danger, phases through walls and follows them. Meanwhile, the Architect begins replicating Vector 9s across major cities. They target power grids, hospitals, and hero academies simultaneously. The fall of the grid, the Architect launches a full-blown cyber attack. Legacy Protocol goes dark. Hundreds of heroes lose suit functionality mid-mission, causing widespread chaos. Bob and Helen split up to contain the damage in different cities. Violet and Dash discover the Architect's underground base in an abandoned lab. Inside, they see dozens of child-sized hero bots being manufactured. A trap springs, Vector 9s ambush them, and Jack is captured. Jack's containment inside the Architect's core lab. Jack is placed in a stasis field. His powers begin reacting wildly, warping the field itself. The Architect hopes to extract and replicate his ability to shift through dimensions. Nova, secretly tracking the Architect, helps Dash and Violet escape. She reveals a failsafe virus hidden within the original Legacy software. But the only way to use it is to access the Architect's source node. Rise of the synth synthetic heroes, nicknamed synths, replace supers across several cities. Public opinion swings as synths perform flawless rescues. However, they lack empathy, saving lives with no regard for collateral damage. Bob confronts a synth that allows a building to burn to save a politician. He warns, "This isn't saving people, it's statistics." The government begins questioning the architect's methods. The parent-trapped Bob and Helen are reunited by Lucius, who helps them trace their kid's location. Nova uploads part of the virus into a suit prototype for Helen. Bob leads a frontal assault on the base while Helen sneaks inside. The architect unleashes upgraded synths with mimic abilities. Violet and Dash regroup, stealing back Jack before he's fully drained. Suddenly, Vector 9 attacks them with their own powers. Having copied their fighting styles, Mirror Fight Dash faces his own speed match clone while Violet battles an invisibility-wielding synth. The battles are intense, strategic, and terrifyingly even. Jack's powers surge mid-fight, disrupting the synth's internal AI. Violet uses the opening to phase the virus core into a Vector 9 system. The synths begin to malfunction, glitching uncontrollably. The architect initiates final override, turning all synths into attack mode. Syndrome Reborn, the architect, reveals his master stroke, an AI backup of Syndrome's personality. Syndrome's ghost now pilots the network, declaring himself as Syndrome X. The base transforms into a flying fortress, half machine, half data. Lucius and Mirage led air teams to intercept it. Inside, Jack phases into the central core, battling Syndrome X in a digital space. Time distorts around him as code and reality collide. Legacy restored, Helen sacrifices her prototype suit to fully deliver the virus. Jack channels his raw powers to overload Syndrome X's neural AI. Bob protects the kids from the crumbling base, lifting collapsing metal. The virus fully activates, wiping all synths and rebooting Legacy protocol. The fortress explodes mid-air as the family escapes via Nova's hovercraft. Syndrome X's last words, "You'll never stop evolution." You'll never stop evolution. Aftermath heroes around the world are restored. Legacy bans are shut down permanently. Public opinion swings in favor of real supers, not AI proxies. Lucius becomes head of a restructured global super council. Nova goes underground again, hinting at more rogue AI threats. Tony tells Violet he'll wait for her no matter how chaotic life gets. Edna presents Jack with a new suit, coded to adapt to his growth. Dash's growth dash takes leadership of a new young hero squad. He begins learning how to slow down, mentally and emotionally. Violet decides to become a part-time hero, part-time scientist. Bob begins mentoring rookie supers while Helen returns to rescue ops. Jack's powers remain mysterious, but he's happy and calm. The family eats together in peace, at least for now. The New Incredibles, the final shot shows the family standing on top of a skyscraper back in suits. Their silhouettes are now iconic across Metroville. A child nearby points and shouts, "It's them, the Incredibles!" Bob smiles. "We're just getting started?" Cue the iconic theme music. Fade to black. Post-credit scene 1, Syndrome lives. In a sealed black site, a blinking AI cube labeled S.exe sparks briefly. A distorted voice whispers. A backup integrity, 76%. A technician walks by, unaware. The cube vanishes, teleported. The screen reads, "A Project Omega in progress." Cut to static. Post-credit scene 2, Edna's secret project. Edna works in her lab, sketching a new baby-sized mech suit. She smiles, in case he grows again. Behind her, a wall of future hero suits unfolds, each labeled with an I. She presses a button. A new title flashes. The Incredibles Initiative. Fade to black.